Hey guys, welcome to my channel. This is Family Livestock Farm, where I share informative and educative videos on how to breed your livestock. But in this set of videos, I'm going to be focusing on one amazing bird that has got everybody talking and wanting to keep in their houses. Is the quail bird. So a lot of us know what quail birds are, some of us don't know. So let me give you a few briefing about what quail bird is. Quail birds are game birds. They are little birds that have very fascinating and interesting eggs. They have a very short lifespan, and then they are more like they are very fast birds. They are fast on their feet, very, very fast. They are birds that fly, but for a very short distance. But trust me, you don't want to go chasing quail birds when they are in flight. Okay, so in this very video, I'm going to be showing you how to start a quail farm with zero cost, zero space. You don't need to have too much space. You don't need to have too much money for you to be able to breed quail birds. Okay, so you don't miss out. I want you to subscribe to my channel. Click on the notification button to get notified when I drop new videos. Like my videos, share my videos, and leave your comments below. I will be in the comment section every day to answer your questions and also to engage you. So without wasting much time, let's dive into it.
Okay, so what I did was I bought wood. Okay, so this is a 1 by 2 wood. Yeah, this is a 1 by 2 wood that I got. So I had to measure a 4 feet. Measure it 4 feet. So this wood from this point, from this very point to the end here is 4 feet, and then so also goes to the top from this point up to this point, it's 4 feet. So we have 4 feet wood here, 4 feet wood here, 4 feet wood here, and another one here. So that makes it 4 feet in length. Then for the width, we have a 1 feet length. So from here, from this point to this point is 1 feet in the width, and then the height is 1 feet also. So that is from this point, this very point to this very point. Yeah, that is 1 feet. So this cage actually cost 5,000 naira to construct. So this is a DIY cage. DIY meaning do it yourself. So I actually created this. I had the idea in my head. I didn't know I was going to be able to, interpret the idea to a carpenter to make sure that he does it properly. So I had to go into the market, get the wood myself, get the materials myself, and then create the cage myself. That was what I did. So I haven't gotten the wood. I haven't put the wood to create a frame. I also bought the net. This is a very strong net, the quality net. So I had to cover the top, of the cage with the net, like that. I had to cover the top of the cage with the net. Then also the sides, you can see the net at the sides. Also, all sides have that. Okay, so the only place that has the pan sheet is the floor. You know, that's the floor. That's the floor. So the floor is made of a pan sheet. That's it. It's made of a pan sheet. Made of pan sheet, as you can see. Yeah, and then this side of the cage also is a pan sheet. So this is a cage that can contain like 10 birds, 10 to 15 birds, thereabouts. Yeah, so that's what it looks like. That's what the cage looks like. So now, in this very video, I want to show you how you can be able to manage your space You possibly don't have to have big space. You don't have to have too much space for you to be able to, rear your quails. Then sometimes people think if you want to start a quail business, you can get like 20 quail beds, you can get like 30 quail beds, you can get like 50 quail beds to start. You don't actually need that number, right? You can start as little as with 3, 4, or 5 quail beds, you know, depending on your plan, depending on what you have in place, for the beds. So in my own case, I have 7 beds here. I have 7 beds in here, and then these 7 beds that I have comprises of 5 females and then 2 males. 5 females and 2 males. 5 females and 2 males. And I think that's a very good ratio, 5 females and 2 males. That looks like a very good ratio. So now, the reason why you would have a male in every colony is this. Now, quail birds lay eggs on a daily basis. They are more like the layer birds. They lay eggs on a daily basis. But the eggs that quail birds lay are more like table eggs. They are just for consumption. You cannot get chick out of them. So for you to be able to get a chick out of an egg, the egg has to be a fertile egg. The egg has to be a fertile egg. The egg have to be fertile egg. So now, for you to get a fertile egg, that means you need to have a male in every colony. So when a male quail crosses the female quail, the egg the female quail produces at that time is a fertile egg. So if you take such egg into an incubator, that can hatch a chick for you. So, but if you take egg that produced by a hen without a male, it simply means it's just a table egg. It's not fertile, so you can't get chick out of it. So it's always advised that on whatever number of birds you have, in your cage, or whatever number of birds you have breeding, you need to have at least 20% male in amongst them. Take for instance, if you want to have like 100 birds, you can have like 80 females and 20 males. But in my own case, I have 7 birds, which is 5 females and 2 males. 5 females and 2 males. I just started about 2 weeks ago, right? But before even starting off, I had studied about quail birds. I have like to some extent, proper knowledge about them. I know a few things about the birds, So look at this. Luckily we're able to catch a mating process. You know, luckily we're able to catch a mating process. Do you see that? Luckily we have a mating process. So, like I was saying, I just started like 2 weeks ago, and then starting off 2 weeks ago, I've noticed that. Okay, so that's for that. So that's another mating process. That's another mating process. Yeah. Okay. So now, in my own case, this is the plan. We can. I'm starting off with five. I'm starting off with 7 birds, like 5 females and 2 males, and the plan is to get fertile eggs, gather up to like, if I can, 10, 20 birds eggs, take them to an incubator or an hatchery, get them hatched, right? So now you discover that you bought 7 birds, and these 7 birds went for the rate of 1,000 naira each. So I have 7,000 naira beds in here. That's how much I got the beds, right? So now, if I'm able to gather like 10 to 20 eggs from these beds, I take them to an hatchery where it's being hatched. I'll have 20 chicks. So when you raise 20 chicks and add them to this, you discover that you have 27 chicks. And then the eggs keep coming, and then as the egg comes, you keep incubating and hatching chicks out of it. Before you realize, you have up to like 100 or 200, chicks in less than 2 months, 3 months. Do you understand? So you discover that the main capital you had in starting off the bed was quite small. It's small, compared to what you're able to have at the end of 3 months. You understand? So you're going to have like okay, I have five females here. So let's assume these five females lays egg on a daily basis. So in a day I have five eggs. In a day I have five eggs. So like in 1 week I'll have 5 times 7. That's about 35 pieces of eggs in 1 week. So if I'm hatching this egg, okay, and there's a male in the cage also. So apparently the eggs I'm having are all going to be fertile eggs, right? So if I have 35 eggs and I take them to an incubator, so it means in the by 16 the next 16 days, because it takes 16 days for these birds to get properly hatched. So it takes 16 days for quail birds and quail eggs to be hatched. So if I now have after 16 days, I'm going to have 35 chicks, right? So when I have 35 chicks, I bring them, and then you discover that so 35 chicks plus 7 birds, that is about 42 birds. Then it doesn't stop there. So they keep laying. The more they lay, the more you incubate them. The more they lay, the more you incubate them to produce much more eggs. The more they lay, the more you incubate to get much more eggs. So in 3 months, you discover that you've had a lot of birds. Meanwhile, you started off with 7,000 naira, which is the money you use in buying just 7 birds. The money you use in buying just 7 beds, you discover that in 3 months you have way more profit than that. Okay, so now most times people will pay, to get their eggs incubated, but there are some other local ways of building your own incubator, build or creating your own incubator. So but in the videos after now, I will show you step to step ways where you can actually be able to build your own incubator and hatch your eggs without going to an hatchery, having to pay anyone to hatch your eggs for you. So the main reason why the main reason why you should subscribe to this channel is for you to be able to learn step by step way of starting up a quail business, from very little number of birds into a large number. Now, there's so many YouTube videos that you watch. Sometimes some people don't give you the details. Sometimes you don't even know how the eggs are being hatched. You don't even see when they are being hatched. They just tell you about quail birds, this, quail birds, that. But in this case, you have the privilege to see from step to step way of how it's being done. Already, we have 7 birds here already. Now, the female birds are at their point of lay. So they start laying already. So now that they've started laying, you might not be able to know how these birds were raised from beginning to this point, what they were eating, the diet, the kind of food they eat, the kind of food they don't eat, how the weather condition is for them. You will not know. But when we start hatching these eggs, so from the new set of chicks that we are getting, you're going to see how they are being bred, from where you put them from a day old till they get to 2 weeks, what you feed them, the condition, the lighting condition, the weather condition, and all that till they get to point of lay. So on this channel, I'm going to take you through step by step way of starting up a quail business with very little number of birds, up to about 100, 200 birds, in less than 3 months. In my next video, which happens to be the second part of this video you just finished watching, I'll show you how to lay sawdust, some people call it wood dust, inside the cage, making it feel comfortable and safe for the birds to live happily and be able to lay eggs. Also, I'll show you how I was able to create a DIY drinker for the birds, without they having to pour the water over, and also how I was able to create a compartment for them to feed from without having to interfere with the space where the sawdust is. Click on the notification button so you can get notified when I drop this new video. Like, comment, and share my video, and don't forget to subscribe. Thank you very much for your time. I appreciate. I'll see you in the next video.